the game with the early goal, put you on the back foot. What was your whole analysis of what happened after that?
Yeah, I mean, look, as I said there, you probably heard, I think, a few things. I think, we certainly didn't help ourselves in the first half. We had 24 shots, 7 scores, so that's efficiency is really poor. And in that, there were some missed opportunities, some missed goal scoring opportunities, point scoring opportunities, which we've been taking in the last few games. We've been taking those easily enough, and for today, for some reason, we weren't. Credit to the lads, they were creating them, but we just weren't converting. And then on the other side, got hit for a sucker punch in the first few seconds, and then another one later. But still, look, we were really in the game at half time, albeit we were going playing into the breeze, and we were only 5 points down, so we never thought the game was gone. And I thought our lads showed real character in the second half, playing into that breeze, never threw the towel in. I'm as proud of the way that they reacted to that first half, because you could have thrown the towel in, conceding soft scores and then missing on the other side, but they never did. And I'm really happy and proud that they didn't do that, and probably at least deserve the draw out of the game.
Yeah, with the concession of that early goal as well, it looks like the players, because it was a bit of a shock, they started to force the game perhaps. There were a couple of early scores that he could have been taken rather than taking the goals, I suppose.
Yeah, but like, if you're true, like those chances are, you have to go for them, right? And we've never discouraged. Like, they're not errors if you're doing the right thing, and missing a goal, we don't ever see that as a mistake. If it's doing the right thing, if taking a shot is the right thing, then we would encourage that. And if it's a miss, it's a miss. So I would never criticise players for making a mistake or having a miss when they're doing the right thing.
Happy enough with the officiating?
I mean, obviously it's a leading question, right? And when you lose, and it's not in any way, we congratulate Galway on their win. That's the most said inside in the dressing room there. We didn't help ourselves with first half performance in particular. And then there were some decisions that went against us, like see the free count, I think it was 20-14. There was a couple, I think Seamus Harndy was looking at it back, but to me, I don't know what you think of it. What's your view on it?
Well,
you had a better view than me. You were up high.
I was up high, yeah. But the thing is, the game like that is obviously we want to know your opinion. My opinion doesn't really count.
Yeah, but sure, I know what you're asking me, right? So, but you guys had a better view on it, so you'd probably be better equipped to call that one than I would be. But to me, it looked like a free. And with additional time, and it's not in any way so great, and I'm not. But I think, look, everyone makes mistakes. Referees are tough jobs. We all make mistakes. We do, players do, officials do, and sometimes you come out the wrong end of some of those mistakes, and it costs you.
Hard to be out of a championship in June.
It is hard to be. Look, could be worse. We were looking at we were going to go out in May, but this is not where we want to be. We came here. We knew we had a really good chance of getting to an All-Ireland semi-final, and that was our target. I think over the course of the game, we did, as I say, didn't help ourselves in that first period in getting there. That our second half, we at least deserved a draw out of the game.
Twice he hit the woodwork in the second half and no one followed in. Is that disappointing?
No, I think that's small margins. Like, I mean, you could pick 2 things out the field and same relevance. So no, I wouldn't have an issue with that. No.
Is there any reason why you think those goal chances weren't missed, or would you have any? I suppose problem with guys taking them on from the angles they took them on, or did you just think to yourself they were great saves?
No, I have to look back in them, but I never discourage guys. If you look back, the narrative on this team not that long ago was we don't go for goals and we take the handy point and we're not going for goals. Now I'm certainly not going to criticise the team, or I shouldn't be criticised when we go for goals when the opportunities arise.
It's hard to take because just that Grealish goal at the start was, I suppose, the difference in the end. And sometimes you just get a bad bounce of the ball. Today, I think he got a bad bounce of the ball. Yeah,
we just did, Jan, unfortunately, and that's why I suppose we're so disappointed in the dressing room. We're devastated inside the dressing room. Players are devastated because they put a huge effort into the back room, and players put a massive effort into this campaign. Coming on the back of an All-Ireland final last year, team is starting to grow, getting to a league final again. Okay, disappointing. 2 disappointing results in the Munster Championship, but didn't bounce really well. Had 2 really good games, and I think showed today that there's great character coming into the group, and a lot of young lads, they stood up really well, and I think that only bodes well for them into the future. But that doesn't take away, firstly, from Galway's win, or secondly from our disappointment, because we set high standards for ourselves at the start of the season. Very high standards, to be honest. So we raised the bar, we raised the ceiling, and the next step of that ceiling was getting to an All-Ireland semi-final, and we didn't achieve that, and that's massively disappointing.
One other issue, Kieran, I don't want to be harping on the referee, but there seemed to be a clear 65 that wasn't given, and when you lose a match of that magnitude by a single point, that's very disappointing.
It is me. Like, I was a long ways away from my seat for 65, you know. Yeah, like so. I'm sure the umpire could see to the 65, right? But Seamus Harneyman's another one there, you know. But look, there are things, of course, they could have changed the outcome of the game. But we have to look at ourselves as well in the mirror, and everybody. The lads will often hear me saying, when we go in after a game, we always look in the mirror. I'm the first guy to look in the mirror. Right? And when you've talked to the fella in the mirror and he tells you what you did really good or really bad, you can go and talk to the next fella when the fella in the mirror is telling you how good you did. And the same for everyone. And same for players and same for officials. We always look in the mirror.
What about your own PG? Would you like another crack at this?
I mean, this, look, as I say, I just come off the pitch. I haven't washed my hands yet, and I've been in the Galway dressing room, spoke to our players' back room. Now you guys television, so I haven't actually even thought of anything besides our focus was Antrim. After dinner was Galway. Did absolutely no thought of anything else but that, and they don't want any, I suppose, speculation around me or anything like that to take away from today's Galway's win or the character which our group showed in the second half, and which I'm really proud of.
There's two types of devastation. There's the devastation from not performing well, and I suppose the devastation from performing well but not getting the result. I would suggest that today for Cork, it's the latter. Does that make it in some ways easier to build for next year for these players, or how does it work?
Well, I think it's the latter by a million miles this time.
Yeah.
And we've been accused of the former many times, unfairly with wrong reporting in many senses, right? But today was the latter, no question about that. Today was the latter, so that's hard to take. Hard to take. Thanks, lads.
It's an emotional dressing room. I presume you'll be asking lads not to make any decisions in the heat of the moment after defeat like that.
Yeah, no different to mentors or players that obviously score reflect, and everybody needs to reflect, because if anybody's thinking beyond the next game, then their focus is not on the next game and the next task at hand. And our focus 100% was on today's game, because we wanted to get to an All-Ireland semi-final. That was our aim, and didn't take it from there. We didn't achieve it. That's massively disappointing, and we're all devastated with it.
For more exclusive content, go to patreon.com/OurGame.